Good evening, I'm Kevin Christopher.
And I'm Nancy Cox. Thank you for joining us at 6. We're approaching the final hours and final days of the 2019 legislative session.
Looks like it's ending with a couple of wins for teachers, too. Lawmakers say they're in for a long one, and some teachers called in sick to hold them accountable once again. Conroy DeLuche is in Frankfurt with the LEX 18 big story at 6.
Teachers from across the state once again packed the Capitol, and only 2 districts were closed today. Jefferson for the second straight day, and Bullitt County. You could hear their chants from inside the House, where the final bills were being brought to the floor. This morning, Majority Leader Bam Carney said 2 House bills teachers were monitoring, 205 and 525, were likely not going to be discussed. Now, that doesn't mean that educators are going home just yet, especially after last year's pension reform was presented as a sewage bill.
There is a large fear of that. There's a large fear of that. There's different reports about how they're going to slide 205 into something else. We'll see. I wouldn't put it past them, though. Leader Carney says pension discussion needs to continue, along with another issue that would affect everyone.
Well, obviously, the tax cleanup, which hopefully we might be able to get taken care of today. The conference met this morning, and then coming back and look at possible some budget stuff in the free conference.
Lexington Representative Kelly Flood says she's not 100% on board with the proposed tax bill.
I will say that there are aspects of it that matter profoundly to me. For example, the nonprofit tax exemption returning because it was a mistake on our part. But it is difficult to see us at the same time then turn around and offer a new tax break when we were supposed to just be cleaning up to the tune of $56 million coming up if it passes.
One notable bill that passed this afternoon is a placeholder bill, which leaves the door open to adjust the tax bill if needed before the session comes to an end. And we'll have much more from the Capitol coming up on Evening Edition. Covering the news in Frankfurt, Conroy DeLuche, LEX 18 News.
Within the past hour, the legislature passed House Bill 5, a bill that would bar a woman from having an abortion if she decided to have one because of a fetal diagnosis. It also bans abortions based on the sex, race, national origin, or ancestry of the fetus. The ACLU already says they will be filing a lawsuit.
This was a terrific day, a wonderful day. Temperatures making it to 70. Boy, does that feel nice. We're in the 70s tomorrow, but it won't be as nice a day. We have some clouds out there on your St. Joseph Health Weather Bug camera, that looking from 21C Museum Hotel. This is an amazing storm. This is the storm that you've been hearing about on the national newscast. We've been talking about it now all week as well. This is setting record low pressures across Colorado and Kansas. It's produced winds gusting over 100 miles an hour. It has the equivalent category or pressure strength of a Category 2 hurricane. It's amazing. For us, we have a wind advisory tomorrow. Winds easily gusting 30 to 40 miles per hour. We can see some wind gusts pushing higher than that, especially if we get the thunderstorms going. Max Track Live Doppler, right now, nothing going on there. Future Track, your evening is nice. It's warm. Enjoy the smell of barbecues going in the backyard. By tomorrow morning, rain and thunder showers will be dying along I-65. We may see a few of them this far to the east, but the big story will come tomorrow late in the day. If we get some sunshine, those thunderstorms could be strong, potentially severe. We're going to talk more about that in a couple of minutes.
All right, Bill, thanks.
As temperatures climb, we're bound to see more boaters on the Kentucky River, but Fish and Wildlife say those people need to be careful.
Yeah, the warning comes a few days after emergency crews saved 2 men who were caught in Swiftwater. Mike Valenti has more.
Fish and wildlife officials say that while conditions on the Kentucky River have certainly improved over the last couple days, fishermen and boaters should still be mindful of swift water, especially with potential for storms this week.
Underwater debris, your motor could hit that and seize up and get you in trouble, get you pinned up against debris.
That was the nightmare scenario Tony Yoder and his son found themselves in when they took their boat out in the High Bridge area of Jessamine County Sunday. A strong current overwhelmed them, prompting a swift water rescue.
Scared to even go back in the water anymore on a boat. I don't know. My son might, but I don't think I will. That was too scary for me. I don't want to do it no more.
Officer Wells says an even more terrifying prospect is falling into the water this time of year. Temperatures are rising, but the water is still fairly cold, presenting the risk of hypothermia.
A strong swimmer is not so strong in cold water when muscles start seizing up and and it gets very difficult.
As for those smaller creeks and rivers, officials note conditions can change rapidly. You could get a strong current within minutes. We're covering the news in Anderson County from the LEX18 Mobile Newsroom. Back to you.
3 weeks have gone by, and there's still no fix for the families living around a mudslide in Fulton County.
The original event happened last month, and the mayor had to declare a state of emergency. The mudslide happened near the First Methodist Church in Hickman. Since then, another 5-foot section has fallen. The family of Linda Rice, who lives very close to the slide, is afraid for her safety, but she says it's not scaring her at all.
I never did have much fear. Well, there's always a possibility that something can happen. But
Interim City Manager Cub Stokes says they're working with engineers to put some type of stabilization in place to prevent the mudslide from getting worse.
One person was killed and another injured in a crash today on I64 in Bath County. It happened around noon near mile marker 120. Owingsville police say the semi was going east when it crossed the center line and hit a pickup head on. Both vehicles went over an embankment. One person died at the scene. A second person was injured and taken to the hospital. The semi was hauling wood stain. That and diesel fuel leaked after the crash, but we're told it didn't get into a nearby creek. Westbound lanes are expected to remain closed for at least another hour, and the names of the people involved have yet to be released. An assault on a man in an Anderson County mobile home park has left neighbors searching for answers.
It happened at the Alton Station Mobile Home Park off Alton Station Road in Lawrenceburg. Catherine Collins tells us what investigators are saying about the attack that caused serious injuries.
At the end of the street in this Anderson County mobile home park, a crowd of Kentucky State Police investigators for most of the day.
I don't even know what's going on.
Jim Ballard was here to visit family. The scene left him confused.
This is a nice neighborhood here. We've never been no problem in this neighborhood.
Troopers say they were called to the Alton Mobile Home Park a little before 8 this morning. When they arrived, they found a man suffering serious injuries. He was taken to the University of Kentucky Medical Center. Troopers say the man that was assaulted does live here in this neighborhood, but they're not releasing his name or his age.
They're canvassing the neighborhood and they're talking to everybody here and talking to friends and family. I'm unaware if they have a suspect or anybody in custody at this time.
Trooper Bernice Napier says neighbors reported hearing gunfire this morning, but it's not clear if the victim was shot. He says if anyone has information about the assault, they should contact Kentucky State Police. Covering the news in Anderson County, Catherine Collins, LEX18 News.
Investigators also focused their attention at another trailer in the park, although Trooper Napier would not say what led them there. Lexington police are searching for the most wanted person of the week. They're looking for 32-year-old Sarah Martino. She's wanted for aggravated DUI, cocaine possession, operating on a suspended license, and evidence tampering. Martino is 5'7", 130 pounds. If you see her, you can call the Crime Stoppers tip line at 859-253-2020 or text your information to crimes. And in that text, write LEX PD, then your tip. Well, it was basketball history in the making today as the girls' Sweet 16 basketball tournament tipped off at Rupp Arena for the first time.
And while the games are still underway right now, earlier today, the Scott County Cardinals made a statement as they were cheered on by students, parents, and fans. LEX18's Kylan Mills takes us to Rupp for all the excitement.
From the first tip to the final whistle, the Scott County Cardinals came to play.
If they're on, no one's going to beat them. Hitting those threes like that.
And the fans of all ages came with the energy.
Go Cardinals!
It's wonderful. I love being out here and supporting these girls. They play hard, and we're just going to have fun watching them.
This year, Scott County fans didn't have to travel far to see the Cards in Sweet 16 action. For the first time ever, the girls' tournament is being held at Rupp Arena.
Last year, the girls played at NKU, and it just wasn't the same kind of experience as being close to Georgetown. And like the boys get to play at Rupp, so I think it's good that the girls get to play here too.
The big stage didn't shake the players one bit either. Scott County dominated Knott County Central 87-61, thanks to some hot three-point shooting. The Cards now 34-1 on the season, hoping to win the second state title in program history. And fans say they could do just that.
This is a good team, a really good team.
I mean, they're fast, they get rebounds, they block shots, make steals.
It'll be a special moment for the school because we haven't won a state title in basketball since 2007 with the boys, and the girls haven't won since '95. So if they do it, you know, the town might burn down. I don't know. We're going to have a party, I know that.
Covering the news in Lexington, Kylan Mills, LEX 18 News.
After the Scott County, Knott County Central game, Bethlehem went down against Owensboro Catholic, losing 47-53. Scott County and Owensboro Catholic will play Friday at noon. Tip-off for the George Rogers Clark Mercy game is about 30 minutes away. And at 8, Ryle faces Murray in the nightcap.
Great time of year. A new report published in USA Today lists the worst counties in the United States in which to live.
And 10 of those are in Kentucky. We'll take you to one of them where people say they're proud to call it home. That's next on LEX 18 News at 6.